Welcome everyone to the new outline of Outliers. So this video is part 1 and we will see what are outliers and how to handle them. So what are outliers? The expression odd one out refers to something unique compared to the other members of a group, and we have all heard it. Similar to this, an outlier is an observation in a dataset that deviates significantly from the other observations. This shows that an outlier is noticeably larger or smaller than the rest of the set's values. Now, why do we have outliers? An outlier may appear as a result of experimental or human mistake, data variability, or all three. They might point to an experimental flaw or significant data skewness, heavy-tailed distribution. Now let's see what is the importance of outliers. Finding and dealing with outliers is one of the most crucial processes in data preparation, since they can have a detrimental impact on statistical analysis and the training of a machine learning algorithm, leading to reduced accuracy. And what do they affect? We have three measures of central tendency in stats that helps us to describe the data. They are mean, which we use when we don't have outliers; median, which we use when we have the presence of outliers; and mode, which we use when we have the presence of outliers and half of the data points are the same as outliers. The sole index of central tendency that is impacted by outliers is mean, which then affects the standard deviation. Now let's have a look at an example. Consider that we have a small part of dataset known as marks. So marks have some data points like 15, 10, 180, 7, 2, 16, 5, 25, 5, 5, and 9. As we can see that this dataset is so small, so I have spotted an outlier 180. So let's see what values we will have in the presence of outlier 180. So the mean is 25.36. The median is 16. As you can see, 16 is the middlemost value. And the mode is 5, which has appeared the most in Mark's dataset. And the variance is 2430.77, and the standard deviation is 49.30. Now let's see what if we don't have this outlier 180 in the dataset. As you can see that the mean has drastically changed to 9.9, and the median is the same as before, and the mode is also the same as before. But you can see here, since the mean is significantly changed, that's why the variance and standard deviation has also changed. Now let's move forward. Let's see that how does an outlier look like and what do outliers tell us. As you can see in this picture, this value in the dataset is an outlier, which is 1440. Now let's see what we can understand from this diagram. Skewness. So outliers tell us about the skewness or the tailed distribution of dataset. As you can see that we have the distribution on left side a little small as compared to the distribution on the right side. So it means that the dataset is skewed towards the right side. Now, the next thing that outliers tell us is lower quartile. So the lower quartile or the first quartile is the value under which 25% of data points are found when they are arranged in an increasing order. So let's say, as you can see that this is the first or the lower quartile. That shows the 25% of the observations from dataset. Next we have median. So median is this part. Median is the most central value in the dataset. In the last we have upper quartile. So upper quartile is this part. So the upper quartile or the third quartile is the value under which 75% of data points are found when they are arranged in an increasing order. Let's move forward. So, can we delete outliers, or is it always good to delete them? No. Outliers may contain important information sometimes. It is important to properly investigate outliers. They frequently provide important details about the process under investigation or the procedure for collecting and recording data. One should attempt to comprehend why these points appeared and whether it is likely that comparable values will continue to appear before thinking about perhaps removing these points from the data. However, outliers are undoubtedly undesirable data points. Now, the question here is that how to detect outliers. Below are some of the visualization and mathematical techniques that we use in order to detect outliers. The first one is box plots. So we have used box plots in the previous outline and we know how to use them to detect outliers. Next we have the technique of z-score. In the last we have the technique of interquartile range. Now you might be thinking that what to do next after discovering outliers. So the question is how to handle outliers. We have learned how to identify outliers up to this point. What do we do with the outliers is the crucial question. Some approaches of handling outliers are listed below. The first one is trimming or removing the outliers. The second is quantile-based flooring and capping. Now this is the end of part 1 of Outliers. Good luck, see you next time.